Sorry, had to be done. Why? Well, why not? Just love that song. It's not a song, is it? It's a piece of music. Hang on. For some reason, it jumped into something else, and I don't know why. That was just really stupid. Anyway, hello. How's everybody doing? I'm still half asleep, or is it half awake? I don't know. But hey, I got all my timings mixed up. Coffee chats are normally on a Saturday, but because I did moderation on Fish's stream on Friday, which was Saturday for me, I got confused. Hence the reason why this is a day late. But it's been a day late all this month anyway because of the tours. Not to worry, they're finished. And boy, did they finish. Finished on a plum today with the NA server going out with the bash. Rain turning over Void. Congratulations to Rain. Commiserations to Void. Massive commiserations to my clan on NA, GMA. But they proved they should be there. They deserve to be there. And for a team that was pulled together in less than a year, which is true by the way, it was less than a year, they showed what they're capable of. I mean, imagine what they can do if they had a bit more time. Wowzers. Black Friday is here. Yeah, so before we do anything else, let's jump into that, shall we? Oh, Black Friday. Lots of things. Let's start with Black Friday. The weekend, which is what it is. Once it loads up, of course. Come on. Okay, don't. Doesn't want to load up. Basically, there's lots of things off. There's times 3 boosters. There's times 4 boosters. There's let me just drop that a minute. There's percentages off all the tanks. I mean, unfortunately, I've got all the tanks, so I can't show you. But you can only get the tanks off for X amount of percentages. I would show you, but for some reason, my notifications isn't loading up. It's just not loading. So I can't show you. But basically, you can get most of the tech tree tanks for next to nothing at the moment. Going into the store, maybe that'll load up. Yes, it does. There's a shed load of premium tanks up for grabs. So let's start at the Lorraine 40T. Not a bad tank, to be honest with you. It's one of those tanks. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But it's a nice tank, and at the moment it's going for 5,000 gold, which isn't that much, to be honest with you, when you're considering what you're getting for it. And if you've already got the tank, you get 1.8 million credits. That ain't bad. Yeah, it's Sunday today, Martin. I'm completely confused. Next up, we have the Object 252U, a really good tank, especially if you're in Asia. In Asia, they love this tank, and they spam it in their tournaments. 5,000 gold, again. You're getting the equipment unlocked as well, plus 100 odd coupons. This is not a bad deal, guys. I mean, you get the tank, the garage slot, all the equipment unlocked, and 100 coupons. If you haven't got that in your garage, it's a really, really good tier 8 to have. Moving down, we have the T34-3. Okay, it's a nice tank. It's got a great gun if you like big alpha mediums. It has a long reload. And no, it's the weekend. It's still the weekend. Eurostar. So it lasts until tomorrow, I believe. It's all weekend. So don't stress about that. This one's going for 4,500. That ain't a bad deal either. It's actually a nice tank. If you know how to play that tank and you can handle a reload, it's a nice tank. You'll bounce things, and as I said, it's got a derp gun for a medium. I mean, that's why it's got such a long load time. Then we got the VK16801P, a tank that I don't like. However, I rolled out in a platoon with free para in this tank, and you know what? This is a fantastic platooning tank. If you've got 2 of these in a toon, boy, it's a nightmare. Again, 4,500. However, on its own, it's a bit meh. So be careful. This is the mouse with the glint in the milkman's eye. It's not the embryonic mouse. That's the VK100-01. Then we move down to the ISU 122S. 2500, it's a tier 7, so we're going down the tiers now. But for 2500 for a tier 7 TD, which is not a bad TD, you know, it's nice. It is nice. Then we move over to the FV201A45. That is really nice. And for 2500, you should be really looking at getting that in your garage, because I tell you what, it is a fantastic tank. It's got a great gun, it's got a great reload, it hasn't got the best alpha, but it's British, but boy, it's nice. It is nice. Then we're rolling down even lower into tier 6. We have the Type 64. Okay, it's a light tank. It's got light tank armor and light tank mobility, and it's got a nice gun, but it's a tricky tank to play. But at 1500, you can't really go wrong. It's a good light tank to learn how to play light tanks. And one of my favourite tier 6s, the Panzer IV-S. 1500 for that tank, I tell you, you'd be daft not to get it, because it's absolutely awesomely amazing as a tank. I think it's brilliant. I love it. I think it's one of the best tier 6s you can have in your garage, and it's a good credit grinder to boot. Moving down, we've then still got the Shark. So this one is 15,000, but it does come This is the shop, the Eurostar. We're looking at the shop at the moment, mate. I don't get a different shop to anybody else. You've still got the T54E2 Shark in mystery boxes. 15,000 gold though. Okay, it is a bit like an E5, but at this tier. But it's still a bit steep for 15,000 gold. But it is a new tank. Then you've got the Shark on its own without the equipment. For the extra 2,500, I'd buy with the mystery boxes and get everything else. Then you've still got the reliable heavies, the Chrysler, the impenetrable IS, and then you've got the locker keys and everything else. Moving into the bundles,
Hello.
I've got no items in there at the moment for some reason. Nothing's in the bundles. So I don't know why there's nothing in the bundles for me. Let's see if it's opened again. No, I've still got no bundles. I've got a few things, but no bundles. I don't know why. Maybe they're updating the shop at my end. I don't know. But that's the shop as it is at the moment for me. But I've got no bundles.
Hello, Fugit.
There's no tanks for me, Eurostar, because I've got them all. So nothing's coming up on... Yeah, hang on a minute, mate. Nothing's coming up on bundles or tanks for me, or gold. No. There is, but it's just not showing for some reason. Maybe it's because it's having a problem with keys. I don't know. Let me see what my iPad says. So this will come off in a moment. It'll kick me out. But just give it 2 seconds. Let me see if anything comes up in my iPad. There is, let's connect again, come out of there. It should be coming up. It is in the iPad, but there's not much in there.
Fugit, what happened to you streaming again last night?
Rolling carried on streaming. Basically.
Well, that was
If he carries on streaming, they're in the bundles. There's still no bundles. But what it has got, what it says on my iPad is that there's an A32, which is a tank I couldn't wait to sell, so I won't be buying it anytime soon. Yeah, I've broken the game. I mean, that happens a lot though. I break the game regularly, to be fair. What can I do? What can I say? There's not much I can do about that. The game breaks, it happens, man.
You know, just that every day you break the game every 2 seconds.
I break the game a lot, unfortunately. You just saw me restart the game and it's still not coming up. So, yeah, I break it a lot. I don't know.
Sorry, War Gaming.
I don't know. I break the game, I break everything. Oof. Yeah, the E32's there and the E25 is there. I know the E32 is there, I saw that. I didn't know the E5 because I didn't see that.
The E25 is a great tank.
Well, just out of interest, I mean, how much are they going for? Because you've got to buy those ones.
It was like 2,500.
What, for the E25?
Yeah.
That's not a bad price. It's not a bad price for that tank. I mean that tank
It's a great tank.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little tank destroyer, quick, and it's got a great DPM.
Yeah, but it's difficult to play. I mean, not many people can play it.
But I can play it just fine.
Oh, good for you. It's a tricky tank. It is a tricky tank. Yeah. Right, let me get the replays up and running. Because that's all in the store. There's nothing else, realistically. So it's still going to be on. Ooh. Oh, he hasn't sent it to me yet. So, did everybody enjoy Blitz Cup?
Not everyone. Maybe not everyone.
No, you.
I did. I mean, I love the competition.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I thought they did well. Wargaming, to be fair.
Everyone did well.
I really like the format, to be honest with you. And I think it should be kind of like incorporated next year a bit with if the offlines are back, then maybe we can have something similar but probably a lot more condensed for the top 4 and then a big event in finals. We'll see. Because I really like that format. I think it should be kept.
The only thing which I'm waiting for is Gravity Mid.
Well, they're doing to do a tournament, so we'll deal with that later. Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see how they do. That's me again. Sorry, guys. I keep bloody...
Because they said they were adding a new map. So.
We don't want that.
Oh, Spicy.
You've already seen that.
Spicy joined.
I mean, I like the format. I thought it was good. I thought Wargaming did a good job. To be honest with you.
I know it was difficult this year because of well, one, it was untested waters, but the only thing for me is if they would have somehow did a little bit more team incorporation, that would have been a little bit plus for me. However,
how do you mean?
Like I said, I thought
like
maybe showcasing some of the team captains instead of waiting for the final, the win and then
I see what you mean.
Interview. But
they thought about that, to be fair, but it was difficult coordinating all the technical side because everybody was absolutely sat at home. And as Jack's on the stream at the moment, he'll tell you that the rehearsals to get all the technical side done, just from the streamers' side, was a nightmare. The first weekend we spent 6 hours doing the technical stuff, making sure the microphones worked and the outputs and. Because basically what you've got, there's a separate piece of software that Wargaming use, which is the clean feed, and your microphone goes into Discord and the clean feed. And not only that, your webcam is going into both as well, so to speak. It's really confusing. So they've got to get them all tied up with the right bandwidth, and it's been annoying. It's been annoying. It was difficult for them. It was difficult.
Oh, again, like I said, that would have just been a plus because for me, I mean, the competition in all the servers, in all the regions, it was just great. It was. I think it was just a good tournament for every region, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely.
Really?
I thought it was a great tournament. I thought, the way they did it over the 4 weekends in November was brilliant.
Well, and then another plus for me, like I said, I had spoken with some people earlier. What it was me being on the NA server. I had limited to no interaction or interest with the CIS or RU region, however you want to name it. But then with the broadcast, with the streams, and then seeing the gameplay and seeing the teams and a little bit of interaction, and through WG, I now have a really big interest in the CIS region now to get a little bit more knowledge of that gameplay and that the teams and things of that nature.
Well, that was one thing that we were really looking forward to, all of us, because CIS had never been streamed in English before. And that was a big plus. I mean, we loved the idea. We've actually mooted the idea before, but Wargaming didn't think that people would be interested in the CIS region other than the people in CIS. How wrong they were. Okay, the keys were a big drawer, I get that. But once people got the keys, we still had a lot of people watching CIS and a lot of talk about it. So going forward, I'm hoping that we'll get more coverage of CIS. That'd be good. It would be good.
And I mean, especially with a new increase in the number of streamers and also analysts, I think something we should kind of like reach out and branch out.
Yeah, I mean, one of the problems with CIS is that majority of the streamers are based in EU, and obviously the EU streams take place an hour after the CIS kicks off normally. I mean, this time around it worked out nicely because they're all on separate weekends. So that's normally the issue. You normally don't have streamers doing it because of the time frame, that's all. But there's also then an overlap because if CIS would start first, and then are you going to lose all your viewers to go and watch the EU stream? So it's a bit up and down. It was a bit up and down, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. I mean, hopefully we'll see more of the CIS. We will see more. Dark, in what way? Disappointed in what respect? In what they announced? Just out of interest. Well, we'll get back. I've asked Dark. So, but other than that, I mean, what did everybody think of NA? I mean, my team, the clan I'm in, GMA, unfortunately didn't get through for various reasons. But as I said, I mean, I thought they proved why they should be there. Personally, okay, they kind of buckled under the pressure, I think, of being on the big stage. Don't forget, this is a team that's only been around for a year, so for what they've done in that year, I think is pretty good. But they showed that they should be there. They had some moments of brilliance. I was disappointed, moreover, with how they played against Ishtar, because they had the upper hand in almost every game against them, bar one, and unfortunately couldn't produce the goods. They seemed to throw the games, but that could be down to numerous things. I don't know, but we will see. We will see.
No,
I think you have to be a little careful with the throw the games thing, though, because typically that means like they let the other team win. I don't think that was necessarily the case. No. I think
it may mean that. Okay,
they made a lot of mistakes.
Okay, it may mean that in American English, but it certainly doesn't mean that in English.
Yeah.
What it means in English is that they had the upper hand, and then either A, they made too many mistakes, or B, they got cocky and they got a bit arrogant or whatever, and they had a game in their hand.
I know what you mean.
And then
I just wanted to clarify that.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. No.
And I didn't mean to cut off Jack either. So.
No, I know for a fact that there's no chance that they threw games in the way suggested there, because they were gutted when they lost. Absolutely gutted. I mean, I know teams are gutted when they lose, but these guys were absolutely gutted, mate. They were literally in tears, and I spoke to a lot of them, and they were in a bad place, which is understandable. I mean, these guys have trained really hard, and I know that because I've been in a lot of their training sessions, recording them, and they trained really hard, and they put the effort in. And the last training session they had was was literally a day before the tournament, the main event on Friday. It was on Thanksgiving for them, for you guys. And that was the last training session they had, and I got up early to record them. And they were playing beautifully. I mean, absolutely beautifully. The focus fire was amazing. The team communication was amazing. The way they moved and rotated around the maps were brilliant. And it was not the same team on the big stage. And I can only put that down to, rabbit in the headlights, nerves got to them, big stage got to them, something like that, because they made mistakes that they weren't normally making. But they'll build on that experience. And I've said to them, just take a break. Emotions are going to be high. Chill out. Take a break. There's a long time between now and spring season, and there is. And once you've chilled out, taken your breather, and had time to reflect, then you'll pick up what your mistakes were and build upon it. And the experience you've gained from going to this will help you no end, and it will, because they can get up there.
Well, my opinion, I have already told you.
I know, I've seen your opinion.
I guess Jack enjoyed my opinion in his private chat. Yeah, Jack?
But I've been talking about the NA server in general. Hey,
Nico.
Oh, Nicolai, no. Both GMA and Ishtar are very nervous coming into top 4. And certainly, if they have a lot more composure, I think that would serve them a lot better. But I think any server, so far, I don't know. Wouldn't say. Well, it's kind of harsh to me say I'm not totally impressed, but like, I was like expecting some more, to be honest with you. But that was kind of me being a little bit brutal here. But just
I think what you mean, Jack, is that it was as expected. Rain was the powerhouse, and they proved that they're still the powerhouse, and so there was no real kind of underdog story, so to speak.
Yeah, but no, I think any server did fine. I mean, apart from some really huge nerfs there here and there, I think they performed fine. Rain, they were a little bit shaky in the grand finals, but they picked up the form in the end. It was really good to see their comeback against Void, which for some reason Void just kind of didn't really consolidate together, especially the last few games, and I don't know. It's certainly good, fun to watch. I mean, great to watch, exciting to watch. I'm sure the commentators and the analysts have a really good time.
No, I agree. I mean, it does. I mean, we didn't see Pincer there this year.
No, but I think the top 4 in the NA server are well deserved to be there.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
And it was. I thought the 4 teams did their best, to be honest with you. It's disappointing, of course it is, that the likes of GMA go out on day 1, but somebody has to, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The way they played against Ishtar, I thought they played really well. Like I said, I thought they had the upper hand in almost all the games, but kind of blew it. Oh, it's meaty. Hey, mate.
Actually, very good in my opinion. But the final round there in that match was the series, the set there before they went home was a good match. There were good battles, and I think that overall they just weren't prepared for Ishtar's approach. And I think Ishtar kind of threw a lot of planning or strategizing out the window, if you will, and they went a little bit more kamikaze, because typically you don't see that style of play, and I think it threw GMA for a big loop, and by the time they could counteract that, it was already too late. It's 2-2, you know. So
Yeah, but I also want to say that they actually play really well. I do think that GMA play better against Void, in my opinion. And you might argue that rotating that mouse on port base is a bad idea. But they have like the skeleton of a good idea, but they just use the wrong tanks. Allow me to say that. And yeah, they were very nervous as well. Lots of like misses and so on. If they kind of like shore up those kind of misses and also bounces, I think they should be able to beat Void. 2 days ago.
It's like I was arguing with Inman. I was arguing with Inman earlier. And I'm going to sort of double argue with him now. Look, I was arguing with him earlier on my Discord, and yeah, I get his points. I don't disagree necessarily with his points, but at the end of the day, these guys are human beings. It's a big stage. There's a lot of money up for grabs. It's the first time they've been to a massive main event like this. They are going to be clutching their iPads or whatever they've got that extra bit tighter. It's not just about micromanagement. I mean, the caller calls, but at this level, these guys are experienced enough to use their own initiative in a lot of instances. But that when you're nervous and when you're on a big stage, that there's a delay in how you would normally act to how you do act. I mean, we're talking seconds, but seconds at this level is a lot. I mean, it's the difference between a well-aimed shot and a bounce at this level. Yeah. And a bounce at this level is punishing. It's something that you can't afford to have. So, you know, they're not robots. They're human beings, and all human beings make mistakes and try that extra bit harder when they're in competition. And as I said to Inman, you know, it's not an excuse. It's you get experience and you get better. Simple as that. Now they've got some experience below their belt. Some of those things won't kick in next time around. Simple as that. They won't grab their iPads that extra bit tighter. They won't be rabbit in the headlights that extra bit longer. It's swings and roundabouts. Now Inman's going to come in and argue with him.
I guess you're too soft with the GMA. I guess you're just too soft. In my opinion, it's not the way you should approach. Because, as I have said to Maddox much earlier, that if you give up, you're not going to succeed in anything. And if you just find an excuse that maybe your server is not so active, you have no people to train with, etc., you're not going to succeed because it's just an excuse. And in my opinion, you're just, I don't know, you're finding excuses for the mistakes done. And the mistakes were done, and the thing, instead of saying, oh, you're just the first, it's fine, everything is fine, we're not in the kindergarten. It's the battle for the money, and you know, you need to be more strict to the mistakes they have done in order for them to see those mistakes and avoid them in the future. You know, it's a difference between QT and the top 4, and if you are playing like the same strat on the middle board from the two sides, of course one you might win, but the second one you'll not win in any case.
I'm also a proponent of not using the same
opinion. The mistakes were done, and the best possibility to help GMA is just to show them those mistakes and not being soft to them. In my opinion, Void didn't deserve the second place. Can someone tell me, was it 5-0 against Rain, or it was 5-2 something?
5-2.
5-2. Yeah. Okay, I need to watch it.
But in the
because
first,
I was expecting 5-0.
No, the first round was 5-0.
4-0.
4-0. Sorry, it was a clean sweep in the first round. Upper bracket final was a 4-0. Yeah. Knocking Void down into the lower bracket final.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll still watch it. But in my opinion, what I have seen from Void, they didn't deserve to be in the top 4. The third place for them, it's... I don't know. It's okay for them. For what I've seen in the battles, because they have won on a port bay against GMA just because GMA made the mistakes. And the huge mistakes. For example, if to come back, rotating of the mouse is I don't know. It's forget about it.
I think it's a
not taking the B base. Not taking the B base is the much serious problem. Because mouse was scared of what? Of getting 1-2 shots. The rotating of the 3 tanks, 2 IS-4s and the Kranwagen, if I remember correctly, to closer to base C is also a mistake, because there must be enough of 1 IS-4 to come there to spot the enemy, instead of bringing the Kranwagen in the front, and Kranwagen should not be in the front unless you rush.
No,
It shouldn't be like that.
I have some reservations in some of the claims there. To be honest, I have to rewatch that, but then, yeah, he could be very scared of getting Hollow, but of getting B. But I mean, we saw it with G Game trying to do that, and against Mercy, and you know what happened to that mouse there. And just Mercy just won against G Game.
Excuse me, but GME were not playing against Mercy. They were playing against Ishtar, and Ishtar. Wait. They were playing against Void. Okay, never mind. Still the same. Void are not the Mercy level. They are far below Mercy level.
Yeah.
Extremely far below. And the thing that you had 2 IS-4s on the base A who were going all the map around, and you're still having your mouse scared to get a shot. Your mouse should not be scared. The mouse should go to the front line and die there.
Well, I just want to stop you there because the reason I was arguing with you earlier, Inman, was. Did you listen to the commentary at the same time? Because I did, and I didn't agree with them.
No, I didn't.
And I didn't agree.
I muted the Drudels in the very start.
And there's a reason why I didn't agree with them. It's because both of them at the same time said, that it's a wise move, the mouse not capping B, because now, and I think it was a 215B, the 215B would have shots on him. And this is what I was saying about the difference between the servers. Because if you're in a mouse, you're right. What do you care for 215B shoot? I mean, the alpha's not going to... It's barely scratching your paint, to be fair. You may get a cap reset, and they're going to know where the mouse is. But the chances are they knew where the mouse was anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So even the commentators were saying that. So this is why I'm saying there's a different sort of mindset with the various servers. So that's why I wasn't being so harsh about the mouse. I totally agree with your point. I mean, I don't understand why they didn't cap. The mouse is there for a reason. It's a meat shield, realistically. It's not there for its DPM. It's certainly not there for its mobility. So what is it there for? It's there to divert the attention from the enemy. And for the enemy to shoot you, and or to sit on that base and piss the enemy off. Either way, the mouse is designed for the enemy to take their guns away from your other tanks, focus them on the mouse, and take time to whittle him down. That's the whole idea of it. Maybe it's a bit different on NA. I don't know, but I do remember what the commentators were saying, and they were sort of saying, that's a wise move not doing that, because now he's been spotted, and they're going to be able to get shots into him. It's a mouse, guys.
But I mean, talking about that game, I mean, I will stand by my point that it is a bigger problem to kind of rotate the mouse. I think that having the IS-4s to hold that front line is a good idea, but maybe not 3 IS-4s, maybe 2 IS-4 and a mouse, and take that IS-4 to do the rotation instead. Because, as you said, Fugit, the mouse is there to be the meat shield, to be the distraction. But then the mouse was used to the rotation, and it was so slow that when it was there already, GMA were struggling to cope with the barrage, the fusillade of the tanks.
Fusillade
of Void rushing into them. So I suppose if the mouse is used for that purpose instead, I think GMA would have fared a lot better. And obviously,
I would put the mouse to actually push the IS-4s, because there was an IS-4 close to him, and he could have pushed him out. Like, he could have just taken one of the IS-4's attention, and maybe Mocha would have survived.
And besides that, I mean, the Vegas Light of GMA is like largely. No. GMA, that Vegas Light is hugely out of that spectator mode. I mean, I think I saw from Julio's perspective that Vegas Light from GMA never came into the camera. So I was also saying that the Vegas Light was quite invisible. So maybe if it was kind of put into the battle more effectively, maybe that could also change things. So that's what I think about that game.
The only problem of Vickers on the port bay was that in the very, very end, instead of playing by caps, while Void had 3 heavies and you had your IS-4 and the mouse, instead of playing by caps and trying to go on the sides, the Vickers just came into the front fight. Well, if you're going on the Vickers to fight front with the IS-4s, you are dead. You lost the game at that fucking point. And I have no idea what was called. Because I was arguing with a guy here in a Fugit server, and he said that I was not in voice chat and I don't know what was the calls, so I don't know the point. Well, I know the point, and the point was that if the mouse was called to go all the way around, if the Vickers was called to go in the front line and fight against the IS-4's front armor, when, well, you know, it is a stupid call. It is just a stupid call.
I'm just going to say here. If I was called to use the medium light to face the frontal armor of the heavies, I would just ignore that call because that was just stupid. I'm sorry, but that's going to be the call that I would disobey.
With these problems which GMA had on the port bay, with all of those problems, they had a chance of winning, even in the end. And the possible opportunity for them to win was just to leave the mouse. Leave the mouse.
Layla's green.
No.
Leave her alone. Mutsu, get some sleep. You've been modding for the last 2 days. Get some rest, man.
Even with the mistakes, Void did the bigger mistake. They went all the team to C. That was the mistake. That's when I understood that it is impossible to lose. It is impossible to lose to the team which goes all the way to C with all the team with all those IS-4s, just because the GMA didn't play the river. And they were not playing the river just because they had the mouse and the Kranwagen and 3 or 4 IS-4s. With such team, you will never play the river, and I don't know why Void came to the river. It was useless.
But moving.
If just to leave the. Okay, come on.
No, go on. No, carry on. Finish your point. Then we'll move on to Black Goldville because I want to talk about that. Oh,
Black.
Okay. Then I'll refresh your memory. I'll refresh your memory. So there was a massive ammo rack on Black Goldville from across the map. An E100, which is not the most accurate of tanks, ammo racking that poor E5 from
that is really
way across the map. I mean, we're talking way across the map.
It's absolute luck.
It
is not a luck. It is not a luck.
I think it's luck.
It's what you think it was aimed for. You think that shot was aimed for. A moving,
of course it was.
A moving E5 on the other side of the map.
Yep.
No, I'm not buying it.
And you know, I can explain you why. Because we are not in 2018 when people didn't have the Vickers, when people didn't have the Sheridan, so they had no opportunity to spot that place. Now we have the Vickers, and Vickers can spot you even, you know, if you'll be in the corner of the map, sitting behind the bush on a TD with a, you know, with a maximum possible cover, and the Vickers will still spot you. No. And, you know, in 2020, people know that they're... Okay.
Spotting is
Give me
one...
just to finish.
Go on, finish. Okay.
Okay. The thing is that in 2020, when we have the Vickers, this place there where E5s were, it's the most dangerous place on the map in the start of the game. And if you are calling your E5s to go there, you must know that some of them will lose HP. And if the team on the opposite side is good, they will lose a massive HP. And the thing with the E100, if you remember Fugit, I've told you on the stream when we were playing QT, that on E100, I know the point that if you will shoot in the same time when your scope will be on the same second with a dot, you're scoping too, and you will shoot, 100% you'll get a shot. At least you'll get a shot. It might be the ricochet or something else, but you'll have the shot. And why E100 Amarek the E5 is just because all of the team of the Void, I have seen this. They have turned their turrets to that place, and the second when E5 was spotted, they have shot. So one of them must have damaged the ammo of E5, and the 100 with its high damage to the models just blown it up. And that's all.
I don't.
In such a dangerous place.
No, I don't necessarily disagree with them getting shots in. That's not what I'm arguing here. That was not an aimed ammo rack shot. There's no way anybody can say that was aimed for. It's not.
Well,
not with that gun, not with that tank. Not with that distance.
Well, why not? Why not?
Because he didn't have the time for the reticle to come down to get the aim in. The E5,
You don't need to with the E100.
The
You
E5
don't
is
need to.
the E5 is not stood still. And he's a long way away.
And you have the auto aimer, which helps you on this. Or when you are playing on the touch, you can just push your fingers to the tank, and your aiming will follow it. And if you just, the ability to pre-fire,
and the dispersion kicks in.
Well, what can I say? It's the skill. It's not luck. It's the skill of your reaction. The Void reacted instantly because they have. I don't know what was going in the Void, but I guess they were prepared to shoot someone being spotted by the Vickers. I guess they knew maybe, I don't know.
Well,
was it just to watch there? Maybe there was a possibility, but in any case, the E5 there was a mistake, and the fact that they have armor-racked, the end of the story, is just the punishment for the mistake.
Well, I'll give my thoughts here. I think it was luck, but then I do also think that going through that route might be a little bit
Careless.
No, it's not careless. It's more like taking shortcuts, if you know what I mean. Like they can take a slightly better route. But let me finish first. They can take closer to the red line and maybe kind of go there. But because they are getting out in the open, and I do get you will get shot from there. And then I'm not going to disagree that getting spotted and getting shot it's not. It's definitely not a luck-based thing. But as Fugit mentioned, dispersion is really about luck, and E100 is, the worst accurate tank in tier 10, the least accurate tank in tier 10. So,
183. What about 183?
See, hang on before you jump in there. This is my argument. I mean, I'm not arguing with Innerman or Wild One's helper. He took a shortcut. He was going to get shot. That is by and by. If there would have been 4 shots in there into him from most of the team taking him out, that I'd understand. What I believe is the luck side, and you can try and convince me all you like him, but I'm not buying it. Not with that gun, not with that tank. On a moving target from that distance with that dispersion was that ammo rack. I expected him to have 2 shots put into him, to be fair, and lose at least half his hit points. That's what I expected when I saw him make that move. You're right. Void, their skill, they were trained on that area. As soon as he was spotted, the guns fired. And that's why I'm saying it was more luck than judgment, because that E100 never had the time to aim his reticle. He never had the time to get it down to aim onto the ammo rack. That was just RNG. Now,
May I
now
try to convince
hang on. One. Now, at the same time, earlier, there was an ammo rack, and that was aimed for, and that was a genuine, not RNG ammo rack. I'm sorry.
We have one.
Hang on a moment. No party without me from Loca has jumped in in the chat, and he said, I can guarantee it's 100% luck, because not a single player would aim for the modules at this range, because dealing safe damage is the priority against the E5. Again, and there's also half an E5 moving ammo. So, that's why I'm saying it's luck. I know what you're saying, Innerman, and I agree with you that they should have shot him. He was going to get shot. It was a silly move, and he should have expected to be shot, and skill on Void for getting their guns aimed in that direction. But the ammo rack is pure luck. I'm still convinced on that. It's pure luck. It was not aimed for. That is just unlucky RNG. However, the original ammo rack earlier in another game, that was completely different. That was a genuine ammo rack. That is purely played for, purely aimed, and that was a good shot. And nobody can complain about that ammo rack. But that one on Black Goldville, no. I think it was one of the games earlier. It was Whitetails, I believe.
Oh yeah. I think so. Yeah.
The ammo rack was so.
May I try to convince you? And also, if Nico, if you hear me, Remalaka, Remalaka. I guess he'll understand. So I'll try to convince you, and maybe later on in the evening we can come to the training room, and me, being a useless touch player, I can guarantee you that at least 1 out of 10 times, me and another IS-4 shooting an E5 on the full speed in this place will ammo rack him. At least we'll track him.
We're not talking about track. We're not talking tracking. We're not talking about damage. We're talking pure ammo rack.
Yeah, and I will explain you once again why. If you know the position of the models of the E5, you should know that the whole right side of the E5 is the burning ammo. If E5 tries to side scrap from the right side, he'll get his ammo damaged. Even from the medium tanks, it is very, very possible. Because his right side.
I don't argue that. I'm not arguing that.
Yeah. So
the distance between them is massive. There's no way that shot was aimed for. It was RNG. No way.
You know, the RNG is in this place is just the most possible way is that IS-4 and the E100 shot in the same direction, in the same time, in the same moment, and they've both damaged the ammo. That's why we had the ammo rack. And this is the only RNG I can accept.
That may be the case. That may be the case, but he had the poor guy had a full ammo rack from across the map. That's luck.
And also, there's one more point. Even without being ammo racked there, it wouldn't have changed a single thing in this battle.
I have my reservations on that.
Yeah, so do I. And the reason I have my reservations is what I was arguing with you earlier, Innerman. Because you're Russian.
Oh, you're so serious?
No. I'm married to a Russian, so I know you guys mentally. Because you're Russian, you have a different mindset to most people, to be fair. And they have an ammo, you get an ammo rack that early in a game. And I mean, that it's the first 30 odd seconds, yeah? That early in the game, trust me, it really knocks your confidence. You're a tank down, you're on the big stage, you're nervous as it is. It really dents your confidence. Russians don't have this because you have this strange mentality. And, you are strange people in that respect. I mean, my wife is exactly the same.
You know,
Hang on,
the thing.
hang on. Let me finish.
Yep.
So my wife, okay, for the last 18 months, she's had no kidneys, 0 kidneys, none. And to talk to her, to look at her, to see her, you would think nothing's wrong with her, and you're like, calm down, chill out. You can't go for a run or a walk or the gym or this. You haven't got a kidney. She's like, no, I'll get kidneys. No, it'll be fine. I'm fine. We'll be fine. And Russians are like this. There's like nothing traumatic in their lives. And when something traumatic turns up, they just grab Pushkin and read it for a bit. Then everything's back to life again. It's amazing. Inaman, you'll go.
Let me finish my laughing.
I mean, allow me to jump into that. I mean, that early in the game, I mean, ask TJ Flu back in 2018, I believe.
No, we didn't.
Oh, yes, ask him. Just, I mean, that ammo rack that early in the game, I would say if that ammo rack didn't happen, I don't care what position you're taking at that moment. The confidence definitely is a huge difference there, and I mean, even nowadays the meta nowadays is not about initial threats, it's about your mid to late game reaction. So I can safely say it will have a lot of difference if that ammo rack didn't happen in the first place, and yeah, just
it kills your entire strat. And I mean, at the moment, I mean,
it's not just the strat. It's you're gunned down.
Well, it's not just that. I don't want to remind poor old No Party Without Me of what happened when Loka were playing. The poor guy, his game crashed on Middleburg, and the team had nothing. His tank is just trundling along, and the team can't do anything about that. And he trundles along into the raid team, and he is dead. He's gone in the opening salvos of the game, and the rest of Loka, they've got to change their entire strat. Whatever strat they had for that map went out the window in the opening salvos of the game, and that's what really would have happened here. Their entire strat is gone because you've just had one of your tanks ammo racked in the first 30 seconds. So the strat you were going to do, where you're planning on putting this tank here or that player there or whatever, is gone. And that's what I think it affects. That's why I do think it affects everything. It affected Loka against Raid, and it's affected GMA against Void, because they react, and the clans have to react quickly at this level, and you know that, Inman. They have to react quickly and change their game plan. And
of course,
it's they're on the back foot from the minute, literally from the opening go, and it's not good for them. And I can imagine the pressure they're going under.
Still, you're talking now that the strats does not affect anything. Okay. Here are 2 examples. You reminded me about Loka against Raid when... Sorry, Loka, sorry. I feel your pain, I could have imagined if there was a rematch. And they had a chance to win in this match, even with one guy out, because they have reacted instantly. There was no delay with it. They saw that one guy is AFK and they rushed immediately, and they had their chances. Okay, without one tank, they lost. Still, they had their chance and they reacted immediately. What I have seen in GMA side was like, okay, we have the E5 armor rack. Okay, guys, let's keep playing. That's 100% fine. I don't have anything without it. But coming back to the point that you are calling E5s to go in such a dangerous spot, feeling like what? You'll be fine. You'll be okay. In such games, you'll be okay going on this particular place. Loka was heading towards C with this E5, and it was fine. It wasn't a mistake. The problem was that he was just had his game crashed. That was the problem. In case of GMA, the problem was that the E5 was called to go there. That is the problem, and this is the difference.
No,
The difference is
I don't
that
argue
the
that.
caller.
Yeah, I don't argue that. I don't argue that the E5 was in a bad position. He deserved to get smacked. But an ammo rack, that was luck. That was luck. And just going on.
Whatever
I mean,
it was,
just
whatever.
hang on. Just going on because good old no party without me came back and said yes. The boys had to push with his dead wreck, even though they had an advantage, and they did have an advantage, Loka, in that game. But they lost that advantage, and what they wanted to do, if I remember rightly, I think RG said this outside of the game to, I think you were there, Jack. I'm not sure. He said, as soon as that happened, the best we could do is forget our actual strat and try to get raid on the reload after wrecking No Party Without Me, because we'd suddenly lost the advantage where raid now knew where we were, because they didn't know where they were at that stage. So that's why I'm saying the strats, these guys call differently. Now I know that because I've heard it from RG, who was calling. I've not heard from GMA, so I don't know what happened in the clan chat as soon as that ammo rack happened. I don't know if they turned around and said, shit, change our chats, change our strat, or shit, just carry on. I don't know. I do know with Loka, they changed immediately, but I don't know with GMA. And I think, I would have thought that GMA would have probably changed their approach and changed their strat to compensate for losing a tank so quickly. But for the point of reference, I am not arguing that the E5 was in a dangerous position. He shouldn't have been in that position, and he deserved to get a smacking. I'm not arguing that. That is pure fact. My argument is it was a big ammo rack in the part of the game that was never aimed for, that changed the dynamics of the game.
There's a Murphy rule. And if to talking about this rule in the real life, in my opinion, it says that if something bad have a risk to happen, it will happen, and you need to be ready for that.
Murphy's Law.
Yeah, for me, it's the rule of the world. You need to be prepared for the worst scenario, for the worst one.
I wouldn't necessarily argue that ammo racks steal games, though.
Say again, sorry?
Well, you made the comment that it stole the game, and
No,
I don't think that's correct.
No, it doesn't.
I wouldn't make the argument that ammo racks steal games.
No, they don't steal the games, but they change the dynamic of the game.
Yep.
At this level, they change the dynamic of the game. And the way I say that, ask any of the pros, any of them. They work hard.
But it's just for that period in time, because I mean,
no.
When it happens, it changes. Yes, I'm agreeing with you there. But it's just for that period, because ammo racks work both ways. It's not to say that the other team doesn't have just as fair a chance to get a return ammo rack. So anything can happen. It does change the dynamic of the gameplay once it occurs. Yeah, that's a fact. But the fact that they're solely to blame for certain outcomes, that's unpredictable.
No, they're not to blame for outcomes. What happens in... We're not talking ammo racks in the middle of the game, okay? We're talking about an ammo rack at the start of a game at this level. The teams, they've worked to the nth degree strategies and positions. When they go to positions on a map, they're not randomly going there. They've gone there because they've gone through it and through it and through it. And they've taken specific positions for specific tanks, for a specific strat. Now, when you get an ammo rack really early, like you did with Loka and like you did with GMA, that does change the dynamic of the game. Now, it would be wrong to say it changes the outcome because you don't know, but it does change the dynamic, and it puts the team that has suffered the ammo rack automatically on a back foot because they are firstly a tank down, and at this level, and I've said it once and I'll say it again, you know, the skill of these players is amazing, and they're all, you know, they're not winning because they're outskilling the other team per se. They're winning because they are punishing the mistakes made by the other team.
Better teamwork as well.
Yeah, and the way the team works, but you know, they've worked so hard on all of this. Something unexpected, and ammo racks are unexpected, throws it. It throws their composure. And what happened with Loka was, it wasn't an ammo rack, I agree, but what happened was, poor old No Party Without Me didn't go AFK, his game crashed, his tank is still trundling along, as you do, at the top of Middleburg. No one spotted at this stage. Raid have not put all their tanks there. They've put a couple of tanks there, and they've got a couple down. All of a sudden, an E5 comes trundling over the top. Or I think it was an E5 or an IS4, I can't remember now. A heavy tank comes trundling over the top, through the C-cap. Bang! They know that the heavies are there. Raid rotate their team around, and all of a sudden, Loka are faced with, shit, what are we going to do here? Because Raid now know where we are, and they've got an extra gun. So the only thing that Loka can do, well, it's not the only thing, but it was the thing, as I said, you're working under pressure, and these are under pressure games. So RG turned around and thought, right, we've still got the advantage, we've lost a tank, let's continue and try and gain still an advantage. Let's rush Raid because they're going to be unloading their clips into a dead tank. But it didn't work for them. And this is why I'm saying it changes the dynamic of the game. Without that happening to No Party Without Me, we would have seen a completely different game. And as No Party Without Me says, they did have the upper hand. They had the advantage, and they did. They had good positions. Now rotate that to GMA on Black Goldville. So GMA are moving to positions, okay? They're just moving to positions. The game has literally just started. And they've got it in their mind where they're going, what strat they're using, what tank is going where. And then they get spotted, they expect that, and they expect to have a few shots put in. Okay? Boom! Massive, massive ammo rack. Your heavy tank is gone. Now, that heavy tank is an E5. It's a hull down tank. You could have been using that in a very crucial position. You've now lost it. That changes the dynamic of the game. You are a tank down at a very, very high level pro tournament, and you've got one gun less on the battlefield for the next 7 minutes almost. It's almost insurmountable to an extent. It's massive. Now, I'm not saying had the ammo rack not happened, GMA would have won. I'm not saying that. But it changes the game dynamic so drastically, so early, that you're automatically at a disadvantage for the team that's lost that tank.
But I mean, that should be expected because, I mean, in any competitive sport, you know, unpredictability is a certainty because, you know, otherwise everything would just be textbook. And so, you know, in a certain regard, teams, they need to prepare for such situations.
No team prepares for an ammo rack from across the map in the first 30 seconds.
But they should. That's the problem.
No,
you can't.
That's what I have told. That's what I have told.
In any sport, competitive play in any sport, there will be unpredictability. Like when you're in football, you don't know if one of your players is going to get injured, and you have to take him out, and you got to come up with Plan B. I mean, this is the way that things work. This is the way competitive sports work. And so the unpredictability is a certainty. Because like I said, if it wasn't, then everything would be textbook.
Okay. In pro sports, when somebody gets injured, you have substitutes. So let's take it. I mean, I know you
No,
guys.
no,
Hang on. I know you guys call it soccer rather than football. Hang on a
So
moment.
you're telling me when Brady gets hurt and they take Brady out, then they got to substitute for him?
Who's Brady?
Come on now.
Who's
The
Brady?
quarterback of the Patriots, the New England Patriots.
I have no idea. I don't watch American football, so I have no clue.
Well, let's just say he's like an all-star player, right? And like, my point is you can't say substitute.
So you're telling. So you're telling. Hang on. No. I'm sorry. I disagree there. So you're saying that the Patriots is just a one-man team. Without
You're
that
saying
one,
everybody should be guaranteed 7 players. Every team should be guaranteed 7 players until the end of the match.
No. What you're saying is that they should prepare for an ammo rack. Nobody can prepare for an ammo rack in the first 30 seconds of a game. Nobody. Why would
Well-
they?
You're misinterpreting what I'm saying, Fugit. I'm saying that uncertainties are always going to happen in competitive sports.
And I'm
And
saying it changes the dynamic, and it does. And if you say it doesn't change the dynamic, then you're wrong. And as you
May
just
I
said, hang on.
interrupt you both?
And as you just said there, if you lose your star quarterback, you've got to bring in a lesser star quarterback. Ergo, you've changed the dynamic of the game. Simple.
Well, of course, like I said, it should be a certainty. This unpredictability, it's going to happen.
Let me explain. Give me just a second, guys. You are talking about, the Fugit is talking about A, and the Fadil for real is talking about Z, and you are talking about 1 point, but from the different sides.
Yeah.
The thing is, what Fadil wants to explain you is that the people who are playing competitively should have the understanding that uncertainty may happen and they need to react to it instantly. So
Correct.
the dynamics you're talking about, Fugit, will not be affected that much. And they need to react to it instantly, in other case, they will lose. As Loka did, they reacted instantly. And the dynamic wasn't changed that much that it could be changed. In
But-
case of GMA, they did not react at all.
Well, we don't
They
know.
just did. No, seriously, they could have reacted, and I have the possibility to say that they could have not sending those 2 ice force to base C. They could have rotated to the middle to shoot down this E100, which is a big mid ball, which is slow, and the one thing which it has good is the alpha strike and HP. And that's all. And they could have rotated and shoot back and at least cut down that difference in tanks by cutting down some HP from Void. They did not react. They had their tank blown, and I guess, I'm just guessing, I might be not sure, but the voice chat for the 30 seconds after the Amarak was oh, we got Amarak, what we should do, oh, we got Amarak, oh god. It might be the points like that, it might be another way around, but the point is that they did not react to the uncertainty. And
Right.
that's why GMA won it 100%. I'm not
Okay.
saying that the game was lost from the very start. It was lost from the very start. Just because they have sent 2 IS-4s to base C, where all the team from the Void was heading to, and they sent 2 E5s with a speed boost to base A, remembering that without a speed boost, E5 is very slow.
Okay, I'm not arguing that. Couple of things. One, I have no clue, and I don't think anybody has a clue unless they've been told directly, what the reaction of GMA was when they got the ammo rack. So I don't know. I don't know if they continued their initial strat. I don't know if they adapted and overcame. I don't know. And nobody does at this moment in time other than GMA or somebody who's spoken to GMA. Now, I'm in GMA, okay? And I'm in part of their Discord. And there was talk about it and, they said we had to adapt. So, that's all I know. But I don't know what happened in the heat of the battle on the big stage. And don't forget, this is the big stage. It's not a quick tour. This is not This is not the prelims or the Ascent Tours. This is the big stage with real money up for grabs. Number one. Secondly, I'm not saying ammo rack should be removed from the game. Okay, I've seen GN Man is saying, oh, it's like saying take the headshot out of a first-person shooter. I'm not saying remove ammo racks. I'm not saying that. Ammo racks are part of the game. However, that ammo rack was luck. I still believe that, number one. And two, it had the ability of changing the dynamic of the game. Now, I've made it clear, I've never said, but for the ammo rack, GMA would have won that. I don't know that. Nobody knows that. It may have ended up with GMA still losing for the reasons that Innerman has just said. They made the wrong strat, they were going to the wrong place, or whatever. I'm not arguing they should have won. I'm not arguing the ammo rack changed the game so much that it put them at an immediate disadvantage and they should have had a replay. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is it changed the dynamic. And when you've got a team that is a new team playing on the big stage, and don't forget, they've only been around for less than a year, when you get things like this happen, it knocks your confidence, guys. And as I said to Inman earlier, these guys are not Russian robots. Okay? They're human beings, and they react like human beings. And they haven't got the experience to brush it off them immediately at the big level. So it's going to hurt them. It's going to knock them. It's going to knock their confidence. It's going to knock everything about them. And they were good to bounce back in the next games. But this is the point I'm trying to make. It changes the dynamic. I'm not saying anything other than that. And I'm not saying, oh, the E5 didn't deserve to be shot at. Of course he did. He was in the wrong place. He took a shortcut and he was going to be shot. But what I'm saying is it was a lucky ammo rack that does have an impact on a lot of things. And it does. Would those things have changed anything? I don't know. That's purely hypothetical. It may have settled GMA. They if they got away with no ammo rack and gone on to lose that battle, but be it closely, they may not have been so upset, thinking that RNG was against them, that everything's against them. You just don't know. There are so many different parameters that kick in. And as I said, we weren't there. I don't know what was said in the chat. I don't know if they did react or didn't react. I just don't know. All I do know is, as a normal human being, you roll out, you get ammo racked, which was a bloody lucky ammo rack. Don't care what anybody says, that's still my opinion. It's a bloody lucky ammo rack. You're going to be downcast. I'm telling you, you're not going to be, yeah guys, we can win this. It's going to be extra tense. You're going to be extra tense, extra focused, or you're just going to go to pot. And I get where you're coming from, Inman, that, competitive level, you shouldn't do that. Okay, right, I get that, but even the Russians are human beings. You should have won the World Cup when it was in your own country, but you didn't because you blew it. And you blew it because you're on the big stage and you missed the penalties. Simple fact of life. It happens, guys. And it shouldn't happen, but it happens. And it happens in all sport.
Fugit, can I tell about Russia thing? The problem is that Croatian football in the World Cup messed up. They need Croatian team. Oh my god.
So it does happen. These guys crumble under pressure. It just happens. And these guys, this is the first time they've been on that big stage. Okay, they've got the skill, they've got the ability, but it's going to hurt them.
The match with the ammo rack. At what point in the series did the score turn to?
2-0.
2-0.
2-0.
So they've pulled back. And for this, I got the biggest respect. They've pulled back from 2-0 to 2-2.
Correct.
Respect it. Nico, you have some words to say. That's why you came.
Hello.
Kalispera, refilimi.
No party without me is here now, guys. So there you go. And he's got experience on this as well.
Well, what I wanted to say about Innerman's point of reacting to an ammo rag. It's not possible. To an ammo rag, you cannot react in the game. If you get ammo rag, you are 6v7. It's done. If you crash in the game, I was on voice. My voice was still connected, so I didn't have connection problems at this point. It was just my game crashed. I was able to tell my team I crashed, so they were able to push with my dead tank at this point to get the best out of me dying. And ammo rag, you cannot do this. You are just dead. This is more
Nico.
unexpected than crashing.
Right. I do want to give my thoughts on that.
Okay, come on, Jack.
Yeah, ammo racks, I mean, yes, it's very unpredictable, and I do agree trying to kind of react and get your team back to the advantage that you used to have is very, very difficult. I must agree with that. But then, yes, as a kind of like a lot of teams, a lot of competitive teams, they will at least have a kind of like a plan, like not a general plan on what to do in such situation. Whether it's to kind of trying to cover up that kind of hapless event there as much as possible, or just try to kind of like throw that game away and then focus on the next few games. I believe like the competitive teams, they need to kind of like have a kind of like a contingency plan of what to do, but not to say that is that they must kind of like get the unfortunate loss back to like, let's say, an advantage. But then I believe teams, they will have at least prepared something when such unlikely situation happens. Whether it be trying to recover from that disadvantage, or to kind of throw that game away and to focus on the next few games. And I think GMA, what they did is they threw away that game, not really intentionally, but then they didn't really. No, I'm not saying they didn't try their best to cover it up, but like they didn't really put it to their heart a lot. And you saw what they did. They went 2-2 and they were very close. So yeah, at least I think teams have some kind of preparation, and I do think teams need some bit of like these kind of preparation to deal with such a situation. Not necessarily trying to come back from a very bad situation, but yeah. But I mean HLB versus RN as well. I mean HLB got Emerald wrecked, but they still won.
just interrupt you, Jack. So Meadsy went to watch. Meads is in the chat as well. He went to watch the replay, and not satisfied with his own view, he then messaged Cora, who actually was the guy who shot. In Cora says it was Look.
Oh gosh. Okay. 2 points, and I'm done with this situation. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
First point. Back to spring 2020, we were playing in the top 16. We didn't get our place in the top 8. That's why we were playing in top 16 as Anaheim. We were playing against BHBP. The first match. We had an armor rack on our T22. In the very start, it just was the Sheridan on the other place, and he shot the rocket and he armor-racked our T22. And it was our only medium tank in the game, so we lost the control of the map. And we won this game. Just because, there is a 1 point. When you armor-rack the enemy team player in the very start, and you're coming to the position where you are against 6 tanks instead of 7, if you're coming to to emotions or something like that, coming back from the Russian robots, you're feeling a little bit less strict to the game, because you're feeling more relaxed. You're now 7 versus 6. You're fine. You're going to win this easily, etc., etc. And BHBP went easily. They just instantly rushed and they lost. And we reacted immediately because we understood, okay, we're out of the control of the map, we're out of our medium, what should we do? We should come back to the defensive mode and get this rush to us. Because we were leading in the caps. They went all team to the T22, which were last later. And we won 6 versus 7. So there's not even one game which you can say from the start, that you will lose, even if you are getting ammo-wrecked. That's the point I want to mention. It all depends on how you will react and what is going on to be. And there is a lot of uncertainty with the ammo rack and with the effects of the ammo rack on both teams, not only the team which is getting the ammo racked. And the second point is, which I wanted to say, that if you remember, the first, I guess it was the first or the second game, it was Rain versus Ishtar, and there was a setup of 50B and the Kranwagen. And I've said to Jack in his private chat that Drudels did not understand the point of taking Kranwagen plus 50B. And I guess that I know the point, and I know the point why 50B was there and the Kranwagen was there at the very start. And if you watch the replay of this match, you'll see that 50B got blown down of, like, I don't know, 70% of his HP just because he was in that position. And the reason why was that the 50B is an autoloader together with the Kranwagen, and they can do the same what E100 and IS4 did. They aimed for that place where E5 got ammo wrecked in the game where Void versus GMA. They were aimed, and the Rain knew that, and they caught that 50B on that place, aiming to the other direction. And coming back to GMA versus Void, you know, I guess they were aimed to that place, even on the, you know, in the moving or staying still, whatever, they were aimed for that place, and just the worst scenario happened, and that's all. Luck, not luck, skill, not skill, doesn't matter. The worst scenario happened, and no reaction was from the GMA side, and that's the point. So, I'm done.
Yeah, but as I said, you can take the option of not to do anything when such ammo wreck happened and focus on your games in the next few games, and I think that was what GMA did, and I think that's also a possible solution.
Agree. Mostly possible like that, because they've taken back the 2 games in a row, and they got my respects for that. Seriously, I thought, from what I have seen from GMA side, that they had the chances to play with versus Rain in the finals, because they were good. But
Yeah, exactly.
from what I have, from what I have seen in the games, in the tiebreaker, that I don't know what happened, but they lost the games, which was impossible to lose. And in this point, the best I can say is just like, guys, you made your best, and you lost because of your mistakes. Just take those mistakes and avoid them in the future, and you'll be fine. You'll be greatly fine, and that's all.
Yep.
Absolutely, that's what I've been saying to them. You know, and I know you're saying it's excuses, but no, they will go away. They will learn from those mistakes. They've got the experience now of being on that big stage, and assuming they stay together, because emotions are running high over at GMA at the moment, I think they could be a bloody good clan on NA, really. Because they've got the ability and they've got the mindset. They have actually got the mindset. They just haven't got the experience at that upper level, which they are going to be nervous. I don't care what anybody says. They are going to be nervous. I mean, even now, I mean, no party without me has just come out of the EU Blitz Cup. I bet he was nervous when they were going in. I bet Loka were nervous, and they've been there loads of times. Everybody's going to be nervous. It's human nature, guys.
Especially when I tipped Loka to be the
Oh
first.
God, everybody's nervous. Everybody's nervous when you get involved, Jack, with your predictions.
I blame Jack.
But Ray didn't get nervous because of my prediction, so credits to them actually.
No, I don't think we were nervous, to be honest. At least I was nervous, and I think the majority of the team was not nervous because we are experienced players, I think.
Yeah, you've been there many. Yeah, exactly. You've got the experience at that high level, you guys. It's a little bit different. This GMA team, as I said, they've been together less than a year. to get top 4 and then go to effectively a different type of twister is one hell of an achievement in that space of time. So kudos to that. And they'll take this experience, hopefully, and next time, as I said, assuming they stay together, which I hope they do, next time they won't be as nervous. They won't be rabbit in the headlights on the big stage, because they'll have the experience from being in such a big scene. And
the fact
they'll
that
be calmed.
the fact that they made top 4, I mean, obviously shows they have skill. You know, they're there for a reason.
Yep.
Number one, but number two is I think just in both teams they faced in the finals, I think they just simply came unprepared. It was just that simple. They were just unprepared.
I don't think they are unprepared. I believe it's just the nerves that got them in the end.
No, that's part of preparation. You know, it's calming your nerves, getting your right mindset.
Well,
and
not
sticking to
really.
your plan.
Not
So,
really.
but
I
they-
mean,
Yeah, it is. I mean, they came unprepared.
no,
It's that simple.
no.
They finished fourth. They finished fourth.
Yeah, they finished fourth. But what my point is, like the nervousness is not something that you could control, but you could try to kind of be in the top mentality to prevent the nervousness from getting over you. But I mean, I've been in a lot of competitions before, and nervousness is seriously kind of a big issue at times. Trying to kind of cope with the stress that you have, trying to perform as best as you can on the stage, and sometimes the nervousness can just get over you and you just make some silly mistakes where you never made it when you were practicing. So
Yeah.
I do get that.
I mean,
do get that.
it's a shame Jory's not here, because I remember speaking to Jory in one of these chats a long time back, and when Vale were riding high, okay, and up there challenging, Jory is a really good player, okay, and he's a very skillful player, and he knows what he's doing. And if you talk to the guy, and you've heard him on here many times, he seems to be chilled and relaxed. Stick him in a tank. We've just seen a couple of his replays where he can go around and he can destroy most of the enemy, because he's a really good guy, really good player, and a well-deserved professional. I asked him, you know, because he hasn't got the experience that No Party Without Me and Loka has on the big stage. I asked him, you know, do you get nervous? And he says, oh, it's horrible. Yeah, I do get nervous because it's a new experience for me. I know I can play. I know I've got the skill and all this. But when you start those, you know, just before you start those games and you've not been in this level, stupid thoughts creep in. Am I going to screw up? Am I going to go to the wrong position? Am I going to bounce the shots? You know, all these silly things come in, because don't forget, there are thousands of people watching these guys. It's not a couple of people. It's thousands of people. Throw into that the expectation that you've got individually. There's a big expectation on you guys. Throw into that, there's prize money. You know, it's not a couple of gold, it's prize money.
Real money.
Real money.
US dollars.
You know, and for the guys in the US, as you know, Deal for Real, I mean, if you see the what they were saying this morning, they're going to use that money for college funds. So it's an important money for them. All these things come into play, and if you haven't got that experience, nerves are going to affect you. Seriously, I really believe that. And, you know, you've got to gain that experience to settle your nerves, to get your head in the right place. And I believe that in everything. I mean, when I first qualified as a lawyer, as a barrister, I mean, I was a great lawyer at law school. I was really good academically. I was physically sick for my first case because, you know, this person could go to jail on the strength of my performance. I don't know. But after you've done a few, it's different. You're not, you know, it's second nature because the experience then kicks in. And it's a big thing. It affects everything. And, you know, I think, and I hope and I pray that they will not take it on the chin, wait for the emotions of the tournament to die down, take a well-deserved break over this period until next year, and then come back stronger and build on what they've experienced. And I hope they do that, because they really have the ability to do it.
As I have said earlier, if you have nursed, just fub before the games. Everything is going to be fine.
No, I do have my reservations actually for that thing as well.
Oh god, here we go.
No, I mean I'm not going to actually kind of demonetize Fugit's stream maleficently. 'Cause I think that's the word. But no, if you do that, you get tired, and yeah, I believe that's not the right thing to do. just my thoughts.
You know, the reason why, just to put you in the picture, for those on YouTube, the reason why we talk about tournaments quite a lot in these chats is one, they've just been recently on, but two, I really think as viewers, because we're not, I'm not at that level. I mean, quite a vast majority of the player base isn't and won't be at that level. We judge these teams and these players on how we play. And I don't think that's right, because their skill, their talent cannot be questioned. And it's not the skill and talent that comes into play here. It's a completely different game at this level. And, as I said last week, you can sit there and say, oh, he played like a 40%er. That's because at this level, when they make a mistake, they get punished 1 billion times more than we get punished in our game, in our random games, or in our QTs. And it just, on a bigger stage, we all get to see that, and we can say, why on earth did you do that? That was ridiculous. That was a stupid move. Why would you do that? And, sometimes they just get a bad rap. And I think, sometimes we look at things like, I remember when Legion, I think it was Juicy Tender Steak against, who was it, EG? In the Blitz Cup, jumped into, EG was taking the B cap, Juicy jumped down, and he got ammo racked. And there were people saying in the chat, oh, what an idiot. Why would an idiot do that? He played like a 40%er. No, he's not a 40%er. He's a 70% win rate player. He's a bloody good player. And you're looking at it from the wrong angle. So, anyway. So, I think GMA got a bit of a bad rap from some people. But they'll live. They'll get over it. They will. And they'll use that experience and come back bouncing, I think. Hopefully.
True. I mean, moving beyond that topic, we've been discussing about that for
we can
several minutes.
Let's move on.
The thing I saw with the NA server is that they're struggling a bit with medium and light tanks in tournaments. That's what I see. Because even in rain, I must say, because not seeing them really trying to be a bit more aggressive in the flanking and so on. But I mean, if you watch CIS server, especially EU server to some extent, those mediums and lights they made use, and also Feast is a good example for that. They really made use of those mediums and lights to kind of like pincer and kind of unleash their DPM, kind of flank the enemies. But we didn't really see any of that, to be honest with you, on the NA server, and I think that is the reason why we're seeing a lot of heavies on the NA server.
Well, the heavies like their NA like their heavy meta is my understanding. Maddox made reference to that. He was saying that when they were training, that they had to adapt a little bit for the NA heavy meta strats. So I don't know. I don't know is the honest answer. I mean, NA's always liked its heavy meta, and I've always said. I mean, if you look at the games, I don't think is it right to say this? If you look at some of the games that we've seen over the last 2 days, they've gone for a more traditional meta, IS4s, E5s. With we didn't see the big sprinkling of Kranwagens and AMX 50Bs. We saw T22s make a showing. We hardly saw any T22s on some of the other servers, to be fair. So I think they like their traditional meta. I don't know. I've played on NA, but not competitively, I must admit. Well, I played in a couple of tier 10 tournaments with GMA, funnily enough. Where I did manage to kill Dark Magician Girl, by the way. Yes, that was. But then
all depends on the.
But then they killed me. But hey.
It all depends on the meta. Like, back in the day, it was quite often to see teams running like a pair of bat chats or even like 3 bat chats sometimes. So it's kind of. I think I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think NA likes a little bit more of the cap strategy, and when you play more of the caps, that kind of ties in with the heavies as far as holding and the ability to capture. So.
I disagree though. With my stats, I could prove that it's not really the case.
Well, maybe not in the end statistically, but like I said, with just kind of the gameplay, like with the meta.
But in fairness, with the recent HP buff that the heavies have had, I mean, it sort of leans towards a more heavy strap meta, doesn't it? Less, not medium. I don't know. What do you?
That's kind of what I'm saying.
CIS kind of disapproves on that, to be honest with you. And I believe like the CIS, I'm kind of a huge fan of the CIS meta, just because I really like the mobility and how they kind of like read the information and make use of that lineup to kind of work with that really well. And that's why I was quite salty when I'm seeing NA teams running just spamming IS4, because I believe it's not the way to go.
I mean, we've seen some. I mean, like I said, it from what I saw, it looked like NA were using a traditional meta for the current times.
Yes.
No doubt it will change. I mean, the bat chat is due to get a buff by the next update. Mm-hmm. So we may see the bat chat coming in. The Vickers is due to get a nerf by the next update. So in the M60 is due to get a buff along with a pattern. So we may start seeing over time more mediums and lights coming in. I don't know. It all depends. I mean, the heavies have still got a lot of HP. It's a simple fact.
And I think it will benefit the CIS servers a lot, the teams there a lot, because I saw them sometimes playing with STB1, which may not be the best tank at times for the purpose they want to use to try to hold down, work the gun pressure. But then problem with STB1 is, I think, is the mobility and DPM, which is kind of like upsetting them. I hope if that pattern is buffed to a point that it is contendable with that STB1, maybe we're going to see some kind of variety with that purpose. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see the bat chat making a showing again, and I'd like to see tanks like maybe not the M60, but the pattern making a showing. Maybe, I mean, it's going to get a turret buff, I believe, or a reload buff. I can't remember what it is now. I think it's a turret buff. I think they're going to buff the turret. So, you may start seeing these sort of tanks. I mean, the pattern is obviously just the medium version of the E5, realistically. So, it'd be nice, but you just don't know. The pro teams crank them out to their desires and their strats in what works for them. So we may see them, we may not. We may see less Vickers, although the view range isn't being nerfed. And the view range on the Vickers is one of its many advantages. The ability to bounce is obviously another advantage. But we just don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Spring season is quite a way away, so no doubt by then, the pro teams have got to grips with are they going to be good enough tournament wise, and we may see a different meta next season.
I really hope we're going to see some more mediums and lights meta, but just because I'm a huge fan of mediums and lights, so.
I don't think they'll take over from the heavies though. I think we're still going to have heavy dependent.
I think it will be. Hello, Yori. I think it's still going to be heavy. I still think that it's still kind of based around the heavies, but I really want to see some variety, and maybe if the TDs in the end will get buffed, maybe we'll see the return of the TDs, because I do want to see like all 4 types of tanks in tournaments, not just mediums, heavies, and lights. And hopefully we're going to see some TDs as well.
Well, you want to see.
I think a big key to that, as far as tank diversity.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to really, really. I think they need to work on the map structure, introduce new maps, or change some map layouts, and I think that would be conducive to having options as far as different tank, types, because right now, the maps aren't changing, and there's only so much you can do with what you're given, So
But the thing is, also, Jack. I mean, if you can persuade the pro teams not to discount Castilla, then you'd see your TDs, no doubt.
No, I believe no. I believe it's not just Castilla. I think we're going to see. I think Oasis Palm is a really good map for TDs. I must say that. We don't see that a lot because currently TDs. I believe the TD is not the hit points is the main reason why clans don't take that, and armor maybe, but a huge reason is the amount of HP that a TD has, which is a bit pathetic, to be honest with you. But yeah.
I don't know. I'd hate to speak on behalf of any pro clan. I've seen TDs being taken on certain maps. Sometimes we've seen one on Canal, not regularly, but sometimes. We do see them on Castilla from certain spawn points, not both spawns, but on certain spawns. Some of the other maps, though, the way they do their strats are not reliant on TDs. They've got the big dirt gun, but the guys are looking for more mobility.
It's back to decisions Wargaming's making, though. Like, if Dead Rail was in play, you'd most certainly see a TD there. And then
Dead Rail's a terrible, terrible tournament map. Terrible.
Yeah,
Terrible.
but that's a matter of opinion. But like I said, if Dead Rail was in play, you would most certainly see a TD there. And then also, like with the boosting issue and stuff, they keep doing La Patches and stuff, and all the boosting positions, those are conducive to TD plays, and it's just, like I said, they need to reevaluate the map structure, maybe possibly incorporate newer maps or map layouts, and that would make for, especially in the TD's case, more tank diversity.
Again, though, it depends. It's what the pro teams are after. They're after mobility, and they're after haul downs and positioning and stuff like that. So if they find a position,
155.
yeah, if they find a map and a position and a strat that suits a TD without losing mobility in their edge, then they probably would use more TDs. But at the moment, I'm watching a replay of poor old Yusuf going out in the Doom Turtle on Middleburg. That's not a map, realistically, that a pro clan at this level would take a TD. We would in quick tours, but probably not at their level, because they want, it's not about the derp. It's not always about the derp with these guys. And that's the thing. Whereas some maps, like on Canal, where if you get a TD in one position, then you can reset things and dominate. And same on Castilla. This is why you see that sort of meta on those sort of maps. But we'll see. Time will tell. As I said, we have to wait until the pro clans work out what's going on with the nerfs and the buffs. And then they tend to lead the way on showing us the meta. And it's always, like I said, I'm expecting to probably see back chats making a showing.
Out. Slightly more, but not that much.
No, well, it's getting a buff, so we may do. And the Vickers is getting a nerf on the mantlet, which does bounce a lot. So
the big problem of Batchat and the Vickers and both Sheridan is that the Batchat is a bit limited with its shot clip. The Batchat is only good in end game or at the start when you spot.
But don't forget. Again, most of these pro clans don't use these lights for the guns. They use them for farming and they use them for spotting. And they did, and the thing is, we've seen with the Sheridan, before the Sheridan was nerfed, They were taking them
Very
out.
good.
They were taking them out. And we've seen in the Blitz Cup recently that, okay, the Sheridan will make a showing once or twice, but not as often as it used to, because it's not the tank it used to be. And the pro teams know this, and they've dropped it for certain maps in certain positions in favour of things like the Vickers. So, it's, as I said, they lead the way on this sort of stuff. And it's interesting to watch. I mean, when we had the prelims for the Blitz Cup and the Kranwagen hit, it didn't take long for pro clans to start using the Kranwagen. And they were using it effectively very quickly. They really were. So it's interesting to watch. I'll be interested to see what happens in spring season, to be honest.
Oh yeah, and also community tournaments. That's something that I would really want to see.
Absolutely.
Shape
Absolutely.
better. Yeah.
Well, that's the testing
Hopefully
ground.
Testing ground. Hopefully, I could get to stream, get to follow all the servers, this community tournaments. So I'll work on that.
I mean, like I said, it's going to be interesting. And then on top of that, there are new tanks that are in the pipeline.
Oh yeah.
So
Object
anything can
260.
happen. So again, sorry.
Object 260. I don't know how this is going to.
Russian bias.
Yeah.
How is that tank going to work on Blitz? Really, the 260?
Yeah. 260. Is it like 252U? Because that's something I heard.
Oh.
Is it like the better version of i7? I don't know, but that could be interesting to see.
Well, I mean, they have it in PC, don't they? And in PC, isn't it rather OP?
Well, I mean, Chrysler K is also, but it's different. But
But isn't
So you never know.
the Object 260 is the one with 2 tracks, isn't it? 4 tracks. It's got 4 tracks.
No, 2.
No, it's 4, isn't it? Or is it 2?
No, it's 2.
Oh, it is
Still
2.
don't have 4 tracks.
No, that's the other one, isn't it? Well, in real life, it's the Object 260 in real life is basically just an IS7. I don't know what it's like in the game. I've never played it. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how it works out. It's still pipe nosed. Looks like a WZ. I mean, I'm looking at the one here from World of Tanks PC, and it looks like the WZ11 whatever it is.
I think Fugit meant the Object 279 with 4
Two-
tracks.
That's the one, the Object 279.
Yeah.
Yes.
The 60 is the
That's the one that's mega OP in World of Tanks PC, I believe.
Because
Yeah, it
no
is.
lower plate, okay?
So yeah, I mean, so has the Object 260 been announced then? I didn't hear.
For
Yeah,
testing.
with the Canon Jagd Panzer 105.
also TVP might come before the spring, so
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
it's also
They
an
said for
interesting
like
tank.
around Christmas to January, we get check tanks.
I don't think so.
Yeah, the TVP may come before then, so that may come before the spring season, and that'd be an interesting one because it will be an interesting one. It's still under test, and then
Yes. And you can see it in battle here and there.
yeah, because they're testing it. So I mean, I've got one in my garage, but I can't talk about it. So yeah, I mean, I've rolled out in it in a few random battles for testing purposes, but. Yeah, that may come, but it does take a long time to test. But I think the TVP's been in the pipeline for a while now, and then they've got the check line as well, the full check line. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens. And then we've got the Christmas event coming up soon, where wow.
Prepare your 700 euros.
I don't know what this.
It's going to get released, to be honest, this tank.
What's the AMX
Yeah.
they've been testing? Which
Yeah.
one's? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Here's the version of the MX-49.
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah, let's not talk about that one. I've heard a few rumours, but nothing. I've not played it myself, but I've heard a few rumours.
I heard it's nerfed.
It's
nerfed.
Oh, you heard that? No, I don't know. But is that coming in the Christmas event? Is that coming in the Christmas event?
I think
It's
yeah.
being tested right now again
Yeah.
with TVP together, but I cannot.
I thought
No,
they
no,
said
you
that
can't
might
talk
be
about
a
it.
possible
Push it,
prize
push it, push it.
for the
You know,
snowball.
you know, we can always ask that person for more.
No,
Maybe.
no. No, 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 no. No, I refuse to do
Okay.
that. The reason being is because, you know, it's great having. I mean, it's great having, you know, leaks and stuff, but they're not. They change constantly because of the testing. I mean, these guys. It's just the tank that you leak is generally not the tank what what comes out in the end. So I'd hate to say, and this is why the testers aren't meant to say, because it gives false information to people. That's all. Because most tanks when they go for the first round of testing are OP. Most tanks.
Wasn't the AMX and the ML the prizes for the snow globe?
Oh yeah, the ML 1951.
But that's the Eagle, isn't it? That's the AMX Eagle. It's tier 8, isn't it? Is that tier 8? I can't remember what the Eagle is. What's the Eagle?
Oh, it's the tier 8 one? It's
Yeah.
the tier 8 one?
Yeah, there's a tier 8 one. And I think that one's coming in the Christmas event. In the tech tree. But not the AMX M451. Thank you, Measy, for telling me it's the M451. Because that one is still being tested, and that's not ready. So I doubt that's going to be ready in time. But it may be ready in time for next year. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, the Eagle.
The tier 7 Pershing. Yes.
Tier 7 Pershing, yeah. And then there's an AMX at tier 8, I believe. I can't remember.
The tier 8, is it the
Is it an AMX?
medium?
I can't remember what it is now. Because they didn't actually say in the announcement today. They showed you the propaganda film in the promo, but that was about it. And they didn't say what the tanks' names were, well, apart from the Eagle. And as I'm not a tester myself, in part of a testing clan, then, you know, we don't get this sort of information. And because I may be a CC, but I haven't got an NDA, so we don't get that information either. So that's why sometimes I don't know these things. We get the information the same time you guys get the information, to be fair. It's just the way it happens.
No.
But yeah, I think it's going to be... They talked about snow globes. We had that before, didn't we? The snow globes.
Well,
Yeah.
XP crates.
Yeah.
XP crates.
But to be fair, I mean, I hate crates. I do actually hate crates with a passion. But to be fair, I did like their mystery boxes, that they were selling for gold. I did like that. Maybe because I got 100,000 gold. But I did like it because I didn't get the 100,000 straight away. So I bought the first round, and I broke even on the gold that I spent. And then it was, I thought, okay, so I've broken even, and I've got some boosters and some credits and some XP. So I was going to spend that amount of gold, so I'll spend it again. So I spent it again, and that's when I got 100k. But I mean, I thought the mystery boxes weren't as bad as people were making them out to be. But it's still crates, and you still look at the drawer, and it's still something I would not say to anybody. You know, go out and buy crates, because it's still, you know, the odds are against you. Seriously, against you.
I mean, you got 100,000 go, so you can say that.
Yeah, but that was pure luck. Like the ammo rack, it was pure luck. It's absolutely luck. It was nothing other than luck. I mean, there is no way, absolutely no way, that that you know, it was guaranteed I was going to get 100k. So simple as that. And I mean, I think the chances of that happening were 0.06%. But ironic. What was interesting was I was playing with Free Para the day after I got that gold, and I was platooning with him, and he was moaning about it in the tune. You're so lucky. It's unbelievable. Blah blah blah. And after the tune, he bought a gold. He bought the crates and got the bloody gold as well. So
What the fuck?
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So,
Fugit,
but-
can we tune together?
Absolutely. If the mystery creates it there, we may have to do that. We have to tune together, increase your chances. But yeah, I mean, it took me by surprise. Parrot was like, I spent your stream complaining, and guess what? I said, what? I got the 100 rolled. I was like, oh my god. So, but guys, it's the odds are against you. To be fair, they are against you. It's not in your favour. You'll get nice stuff, but you know the big prize is always just out of reach.
Oh, Fugit.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the community tournaments in December?
We can do, yes.
Yeah.
I know I'm down for one. This is the one being ran by Zenith.
Zenith League, yep, and another one I believe, which I don't think they have asked us. They have told us to disclose anything yet, so I'm not going to say much. But that community tournament, there are a lot of days, and it's going to be super exciting because it's going to be involving. I think I'm not even sure if I should say that.
No, you can't. You can't.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't mention that one. I'm aware of the other one because we're involved, but
Yes.
no, that one's still top secret.
Top secret
for the moment.
That will not,
For the moment.
Yeah.
But I believe in the Zenith League, Phoenix are there, Kraken are in there, LXN, W1B.
Oh, I can tell you the full list here.
Go on then.
The list of participating clans are Phoenix, Fuha, which are the winners of the Czech and Slovakian clans championship 2020. So they are a team to watch.
Okay.
H1Z1, formerly known as Spots. I mean, they are led by Alimosa, so they should be really good. HNKL, I think they participated in the last Zenith League as well. Kraken Esports, Lux Novum, they are back again. I don't know the nth time they are back.
Okay.
RDX, that's led by Sinkier of Nika, which is a pretty good lead caller. So do have your eyes on that. TXC, I mean, they are a really bunch of like laid back guys, but they are very good in tournaments as well. Written in Blood, I think Ghost at least leading that if I remember correctly. But
Ghost,
I can't.
Ghost Deadly. Ghost Deadly's good.
Yeah, he's good. So another team to watch. Zenith, obviously, very bad team. Joking. They're really good, but I think one team dropped out of this Zenith League. So these are the clans. Yeah, these are the clans that are participating in the Zenith League.
Oh, and by the way, for those watching, the important thing Jack hasn't mentioned is that the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Rolling will be commentating.
On some of the matches, yes.
Absolutely. But I'm not out of a job just yet. I
will be more worried actually.
So Rolling is slowly taking the training wheels back off after his hiatus. He did his stream last night with the 2v2 tournament community tour, which was very good.
Very good.
So he hasn't lost his ability. Let's put it that way.
No, he's still. I mean, I love his excitement at times, which is really good.
But so Rolling will be taking part in. I know for a fact he's taking part in that one, the Zenith League thing. I believe we're swapping days. He was doing Tuesday, and I was doing Sunday. But he has a problem with Tuesday for some reason, so I'm going to do Tuesday and he's going to do Sunday. So that's why I know he's streaming.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, December is going to be a very busy week for all the streamers out there. I believe all the commentators out there.
Potentially yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, something exciting to look forward to. With the one that's top secret, then once that becomes less top secret, it's going to be exciting. Trust me.
Very exciting, and yeah. So
yeah, it's just at the moment it's just top secret, but watch this space because the moment they say go for it, going to be one hell of an exciting community tour. Really is.
Yeah, really exciting. But I think the reason why it's top secret because they still need to formulate all the stuff first before everything's made official. So like all the stuff that we've been told are not final decision yet. So probably
Correct.
that's why we're not allowed to talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll be a good tour if that goes ahead.
It will be a really good tour, yeah. If that goes ahead, it will be fantastic, I must say. And hopefully, it'll be nice. I don't know what to say, but
Yeah. Well, I'm interested because I'm hoping to poach people for Vale.
oh, interesting.
Damn right.
Oh.
Well, they want to build a team, and you know, they want to get back into it, and so they should. You know, they were a solid top 8, even though they didn't get to top 8 this season. I still think they're a solid top 8 team. Yeah, okay, because they didn't make it, they, you know, kind of sort of degenerated a little bit and broke up. But Elysium and Loro, they do want to bring their team back if they can.
Mm-hmm.
So they asked if I could help, and I said more than happy, even though I'm a complete nab. Not to play and do any of that shit, of course, because I haven't got the skill. but to try and reach out to people. So we'll see. We've got plenty of time. We've got plenty of time.
And I hope I can follow. Yeah, I hope I can follow more of the community side for NA, Asia, and CIS region as well. I've got to write a lot of people and see what I could cope with. But
yeah. So there's going to be a lot of transitioning going around. I think there are going to be a lot of teams in transition. Not probably the big teams. I mean, the big clans will probably not change that much, but there will be a lot of other teams being pulled together and trying to challenge for next season, which would be great. It'd be great if they do that.
I think we will have a lot of changes to the big teams as well.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, some people will drop out as they lose time, because real life gets in the way a lot of the time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
I believe they will be back just before the spring season, definitely. So I'm not worried.
Oh,
about
absolutely. There will be transitions between now and spring season, but it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what happens. I mean, it's an interesting project that Vale have asked me to sort of help them with. I'm chuffed and absolutely honoured because I've always had a big soft spot for Vale, and you know, any help that I can give is just amazing opportunity for me, and what me being the complete nab that I am. I mean, I love it. I mean, I help with GMA. I recorded all their training sessions and all that sort of stuff, and they found it useful. Obviously not that useful because they didn't win, but no, joking aside, they found it useful so they can go back and actually see bits and bobs where they really are. And as I said, I mean, I recorded them the day before day 1 of Blitz Cup NA, and they were a completely different team to what you saw. A completely different team, and it wasn't like they were playing some Muppet team in the training session, but a training session and the big stage are two different things. So yeah, I mean, being involved in a project like this with Vale is almost like a dream come true, to be fair. And I hope I can, you know, help them out. It'd be great. So if there are any pro players out there looking for a challenge, hello. Shamelessly plugging it. And I've already approached the likes of Jory, so that's okay. And I've approached the likes of Eric and all that sort of lot, and you know, these sort of people. And I've been having a chat with a few others. But the problem is this time of year, you know, there's always a transition after the Twister.
I do. Yeah.
And other clans are coming up and other ideas come around, so you know, there are a lot of pro players up for grabs, so to speak. And you know, whilst they may be tempted on the one hand, they are tempted better with the other hand. It just swings in roundabouts. But as I said, we've got plenty of time. And the vision that I've that we've sort of come to with Vale I think is a realistic one. So, and as I said to one of the guys I was speaking to last week, you're not going to get any, you don't get any bullshit from me. I mean, I'm not going to turn around and say, yes, we're aiming for top 4 by spring season, because we're not.
God.
We're not.
No.
We're not. Top 16 or better with a view on top 8 for summer and top 8 with challenging for the top spots by autumn. So, and a big emphasis on being a team. So, we'll see. It's a challenge. I like all challenges. But any pros out there, don't worry, I won't be playing, I won't be captain, I won't be any of that shit. It's purely like an admin role, PR.
Manager.
I mean, the captain will be in charge of the team, not me.
Yeah.
So don't worry, you're not going to get nabstrats.
Oh. If I'm allowed to kind of advertise a bit as well.
You can, of course.
Oh yeah, Friday Night with Wild. I'm planning to do an open forum, and hopefully that will be about. It will be about discussing about an offline, a Forge War offline Twister Cup, between the teams that won the regions this year so far. So we're going to talk about the chances of these 4 teams for getting in for winning the entire thing. Plus, maybe we'll talk about a wild card based on a wild card for the second place team for each server. So yeah, I think it will be a really good discussion there. So we can talk about HLV, Mercy, Endgame, and also Rain, who will win the Twister Cup, and maybe we'll see a surprise second wild card second place team winning the Twister Cup as well. So I think it will be a good discussion. I hope I will see you all there on Friday then.
Yeah, I have no problem with you plugging whatever you like. I mean, the idea of this is for people to plug whatever they want to plug. It's not, it's. I've got no ego riding on my channel. It's a small channel, and that's it.
Mine as well, even smaller.
I have no problem with anybody plugging anything in these chats. Why should I? At the end of the day. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting time as we go into the Christmas period. Everybody's getting a well-deserved break, but there'll still be stuff going on. It'll be a bit more chilled and not as intense as the Pro Series, but it'll still be entertaining. Let's put it that way. We've got some great things lined up.
Yeah. December is going to be. I don't think it will be much less exciting than November. I must say it's going to be on par on that level.
I don't know, because I mean, obviously November we had the Blitz Cup, which was the highest entertainment. But we've still got there's still things in the background that are bubbling away that will still be entertaining for people to see, and that's the thing. And I'm still going to be, doing my best to convince people on especially on the Asian server, to play more tournaments. Come on, guys, get out there.
Yeah.
Because the more tournaments the more interesting tournaments that there are, the more wargaming will prioritise them. Trust me on this.
And I hope that there will be some Asia community tournaments coming up soon, and hopefully we get to see that as well.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, I'm still going to be plugging tournaments as much as possible because I want wargaming to take them more seriously.
Oh, I think they will take it more seriously after this. I mean, the Blitz Cup has been quite a tremendous success. I must say.
It has, but I mean, it's still only really 1% realistically of the player base that at that level. So what they need is more of the player base, not to be in the top level, that's never going to happen, but more of the player base to start playing tournaments, And if that happens, not just the QTs, by the way, I'm on about, Ascent Tours and stuff like that. If that happens, then we may start seeing more interest eventually. Because at the moment it's not a priority because not enough players are interested in tours. Simple fact. But I think what we've seen over November is how exciting and how entertaining tours can be, and how even just playing quick tours, your skill level, if you do it regularly enough, will improve. It will improve, especially on things like not bouncing shots. I mean, and map awareness, and that's why I'm loving the skirmish tournaments that they do every now and then. Skirmish tournaments, I think, are brilliant. I think that is a real winner for me. I love it, and I wish the community would embrace those a bit more, because playing on those sort of, not really half a map, is it? It's more like a third of a map. You're getting to see map positions that you would not normally see, and I just it's quick and it's fast paced, and it's a different type of game. And it's one of those games where you really can love to push, and learn how to push effectively, because there's less of you. So, well, we'll see what happens. I hope they do more skirmish tours, because they were fun. They are fun.
Oh, and I hope Wargaming can also do more kind of practice tours, like will help those clans who don't have a really good win rate to kind of play against clans similar to their level to kind of work their way up a bit. I don't know, but well, hopefully we see some of this as well.
Well, that's Matthew. I've had good fun. I mean, I rolled out with Imor against Written in Blood in skirmish, and we had a great time. We mainly had a great time because the strat, and it was a great strat, and Cougar came up with it. And it was a great strat. It was Focus Familio, which I thought was a great strat. I thought it was a brilliant strat. because he was in a Jaegeroo on Fortress on Rock, what was it? Falls Creek. He was in a Jaegeroo on Falls Creek, and he's like, yeah, Focus Familio. There we go. Brilliant strat.
How would you focus a bot?
That's why, exactly. Focus the bots was actually the call. It was brilliant. Bless him. He got bullied. So it was good fun. It was good fun.
Good.
But that's so you can have fun in skirmish when you have two good teams. Although, admittedly, me being in the Immor team probably didn't make them a good team. to be fair, they probably had a distinct disadvantage and massive handicap. But it was good fun, and I enjoyed it. So yeah, I like that. But I mean, going back to what you said a minute ago, Jack. One of the things that I'm still pondering is raising the things like, when you have the Ascent type tours where you've got top 4, top 8, top 16, top 32, top 64, Wargaming should consider running those like they do ratings. So, for example, if you get to Platinum League, you get an avatar and a camo. If you get to Gold League, you get an avatar. I mean, we should probably have something like that for the echelons in the tours, because that may, I know it's only a little thing, but it may start enticing people to start taking tours a bit more seriously. You don't know. At the moment we've got 16. There are clans who take it seriously, but if we could get more taking it seriously, and I'm on about, you're talking about those clans with the lower win rates, etc., etc., then who knows, things may happen. So that's the big plans anyway. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's about it. Unless anybody else has got anything to say.
Nah. Oh yeah, I wasn't here the last 2 weeks. I don't know if you guys discussed about the CIS Cup and the CU Cup.
We did, of course, absolutely. We definitely discussed it. We talked about it.
I wish I was there, but then I had so much to do.
The main talking point, well, I'll just quickly go over the main talking point was, firstly, the main talking point for CIS was, seriously, 4 AMX-50Bs and 3 Progettos? What on earth were they thinking? On Middleburg? What were they thinking? But it worked.
Well, the reason why it works really because I think mostly kind of throw away. that, to be honest with you. But
And
You never know.
what was the other thing? 2 mouses on desert sands into the desert, but it worked.
it worked, yeah, it worked.
I mean, wow.
Crazy.
And then for EU, the big talking point, unfortunately, no party without me was Loka. And well, it was Loka. To be fair, it was Loka in Legion. It was Loka in Legion because Legion. I think Legion had an ammo rack in every round in the Blitz Cup.
Oh,
3
yeah.
ammo racks.
Yeah. So those were the main talking points. I mean, it was obviously big congratulations to Endgame. Played their socks off. Played really well. Beautiful to watch. But as we said in that stream, all 4 clans played really well, and it was highly entertaining and an absolute pleasure to be part of that. Same with CIS, absolutely brilliant to watch. So, you know, I think we've been given some great entertainment by the teams across all 4 servers for November. And Meads is now upset with you, Jack, because I was about to finish and you asked another thing, and he's had to stay on, and it's all your fault. So you've now jinxed Meadsy.
Why? What happened?
He was going to go. And he was like, oh yeah, great. No, he's joking. So, hey, hi Grumbly, how you doing? Hey, no panic. Right, so, seriously, guys, thank you for dropping, no party without me, seriously mate, thank you for dropping into the chat, real pleasure. From moving from the YT chat to the Discord chat, absolutely made up about that, thank you very much. The rest of you, again, I'm always pleased when you come in, the likes of Jory, GN Man, Not Banana Joe, the Deal for Real, Wild Ones Helper, we had Inaman earlier and a few others. Brilliant that you guys come in and support like that. Really fantastic stuff, especially on your Sunday. And all those for people on YouTube, again, thank you for popping in, guys. It always makes me gives a lump in my throat when I see so many people popping on. Okay, it's not as many as Meadsy when they watch his streams, but you know.
I mean, to be fair, you're the only YouTuber I know that sits in Discord and lets people join.
That's because I haven't got 30. That's because I'm not meaty. I don't have 50. I don't have 50,000 subscribers. Can you imagine half of his subscribers wanting to jump onto his Discord in VC? It'd be massively mad. So, and hopefully he has got. Have you got 50,000 yet? He better have. I'm pretty sure he has. I'm pretty sure. I know Pantherflea hit 30 the other day. The last time I checked, means he was on like tentatively close. No, he's still tentatively close. Come on, surely we can get that extra bloody 800. What is it? 800 subscribers. 800. Unbelievable. He needs 800 subscribers to hit 50k. Wow. Yeah, there you go. You see, so last time Meadsy did it, it sort of went a bit bizarre. But yeah, that's the thing. But he's got, I've got 4,000 and something subscribers compared to his 49,000. It's a bit different. But it's great. But anyway, like I said, big thank you for everybody on YouTube for popping in and everybody on Discord. It really makes my day to see so much support. And don't forget, before I do these ones, he's going to go back to his Friday nights. It will be Friday night with Wild. Similar sort of thing, but talking to the big guys generally and having an open mic as well. So don't forget that. Put it in your diaries. And with that, guys, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'll be on again later, but playing, so we'll have some fun. It'll be a chill stream, tunes and all that sort of stuff. You know what we do on a Sunday. So until then, have a great Sunday, guys, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye for now.
Bye.